Today we will talk about vitamins. So, don't you know? Don't you agree with me that we have been doing vitamins from the beginning of MD1?
Yes, sir.
We have been doing vitamins whenever we studied metabolism. Whenever we studied metabolism, we did vitamin. We talked about vitamin metabolism. So whether that metabolism be carbohydrate metabolism or it is a lipid metabolism, in all metabolism we saw that vitamins are coming, and not only in metabolism we have seen the vitamins coming for DNA and RNA synthesis in synthesis of DNA and RNA, in DNA and RNA. Have we in purine synthesis? If you can remember purine and pyrimidine synthesis, we studied this folate metabolism. This folate metabolism is involved very much in purine and pyrimidine metabolism. Okay, so see, we have been given only one class for this, but this actually vitamin deserve more classes. So I will share some videos. Okay, I'll share some videos, and that video will also include the class. So you will have to study. I will ask question from those videos also. So I will share those videos with you about folate metabolism, about vitamin B12 metabolism, and then your exam will include question from them also. So today, let's start today about vitamins without a delay. So what is vitamins? So we have done vitamins in GIT also, absorption of vitamins. There also we have done some vitamins. So what is vitamin?
They're nutrients for your cell growth and development.
Okay, nutrients. Which nutrients? Is it essential or non-essential?
Essential.
So what does essential mean?
Means it's necessary. You need them.
Not produced by body.
And they're
Not
produced by
produced.
body. Not produced by body.
Yes, not produced. You have to take in your diet. So vitamins are essential nutrients that you have to take in diet. So these are, the name itself derived from vital amine. So first vitamin was discovered and then it was found that it is amine. So that is where the name came. Vital amine is vitamin. So it is vital. Now it is a heterogeneous group of organic compounds which are essential for animals and human beings, are required in minute quantities. They do not provide energy, but dietary intake is essential as they perform biochemical reaction. They actually help in release of energy. So they do not provide energy, but they are part of essential part of nutrient. Let's see this classification. As we can classify vitamin into two groups. So fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E, K. So we will talk about fat soluble vitamin in next class. And water soluble vitamin C, and then B complex, vitamin B, non-vitamin B complex and vitamin B complex. Vitamin B complexes are vitamin B1, B2, B3, B6, and this you can see. You already know about these vitamins. B1, what is B1? What is B2? B2 corresponds to FAD and FMN. And this thiamine corresponds with TPP. Niacin corresponds to what? NAD and NADP. Haven't we studied about this NAD and NADP? Biotin corresponds to biotin, you know, it is corresponds to carboxylation. So what are the function, you know? Biotin is related to carboxylation. Carboxylation, you know it. So biotin are related to carb. And pantothenic means coenzyme A. So you know all this. And this folic acid and vitamin B12, both are related to propionic acid pathway. Propionic acid pathway. And this both are folic acid, both are related to pathway of methionine synthesis pathway. So both are involved in synthesis of methionine from homocysteine, like folic acid and vitamin B12. B12 and this biotin is related in propionic acid pathway. Propionic acid pathway, you know this. So we have already done all this. So we have to compile and we have to answer the question. Now, this folic acid is related to purine and pyrimidine metabolism. It is utilized in purine and pyrimidine metabolism. We have seen that. So let's begin with and these are called hematopoietic. We have seen this because of deficiency of vitamin B12 or folate deficiency, it will cause megaloblastic anemia. So that is why these are called hemopoietic vitamins, folic acid and vitamin B12. So these are the sources. You can see these are the sources. So green vegetables. I will only I would like to mark one very important thing. So folate is derived from green vegetables. So folate, vegetarian sources are rich in folate, and vitamin B12 is rich in animal product. For example, milk and different types of meat. So milk and meat, this vitamin B12 is present, and then folate is present in green leafy vegetables or in vegetarian diet. So if non-vegetarian who is very completely non-vegetarian, the non-vegetarian which have tendency of which vitamin deficiency? Non-veg will have which vitamin deficiency? Chance of which vitamin deficiency? Tell me. Folate deficiency. And vegetarian will have which vitamin deficiency? B12 deficiency. So remember, this is a very important concept. Otherwise, you will see vitamins are present abundantly in few, especially vitamin B1. These are present in carbohydrate source as well as meat. You can get the concept of vitamins. You can see B coming from this grains. B coming from grains. You can see the sources. So I'm not going in detail of the sources. You can see yourself. So let's talk about vitamin B1. So vitamin B1 is present where? Vitamin B1 is present where? Which enzyme? Can anybody tell me?
Thiamine?
Niacin.
No.
Niacin is different vitamin.
No, niacin is
Thiamine.
I mean, it is thiamine pyrophosphate. So vitamin B is present in the form of thiamine pyrophosphate. In which enzymes? What are the enzymes?
Pyruvate dehydrogenase.
Great. Pyruvate dehydrogenase.
Transketolase.
Good. Very good. Thank you. Transketolase. And then, so this T.
Alpha. What?
You can remember from this only. This you can use this TPP as mnemonics. T for transketolase. Okay, to remember thiamine, and P for pyruvate dehydrogenase, and other P for other PDH-like enzymes. What are PDH-like enzymes? One is alpha keto, the enzyme of Krebs cycle, alpha keto glutarate dehydrogenase, alpha keto glutarate dehydrogenase, and second is branch chain keto acid dehydrogenase. This is enzyme of branch chain amino acid catabolism. So this 2 plus this 3, pyruvate dehydrogenase, and this 2 pyruvate dehydrogenase like enzyme plus this. So 1, 2, 3, 4 enzymes only in our body. 4 enzymes are only present that contain vitamin B1. And if you can see this closely, all these vitamins are related to carbohydrate metabolism, except this carbohydrate metabolism. So did you get this? Vitamin B1 is present associated with which metabolism?
Carbohydrate metabolism.
And which carbohydrate metabolism? Yes. And then you can remember B1 as also mnemonics. B1 means burn 1, means 1 is burn carbohydrate. So if there is deficiency in B1, what will happen?
Carbohydrate metabolism doesn't take place.
So there will be problem in utilization of carbohydrate. If there is problem in utilization of carbohydrate, there will be, what about this energy? There will be problem in utilization of energy also. Okay. So when there is B1 deficiency, this will cause B1, beriberi. It causes beriberi. What does it mean? This Sri Lankan language is there. So in this terminology derived from Sri Lanka, this means I can't. So because of lack of energy, this beriberi happens. Vitamin B1 deficiency will happen. Did you get this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So vitamin B1 and vitamin B1, other cause of vitamin B1 deficiency is alcohol abuse. Deficiency is alcohol abuse. So there are two main causes of vitamin B12, B1 deficiency. One may be because of dietary deficiency. This is because of that it will cause beriberi, and other is alcohol abuse. This because of this alcohol, it will cause this course. What is this called? Korsakoff. What is this disorder called? Does anybody know? Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. This is called what? Wernicke-Korsakoff. So this is because of alcohol abuse. And one because of dietary deficiency. Now Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome will present with a different classical triad. We will talk about this. The triad, I will tell you the triad. So let's see this. So thiamine deficiency, you know, what are the this and this. What are PDS-like enzymes? You can see this. So these three enzymes are there. So symptoms arise because of impaired glucose breakdown. That means because of depletion of ATP, energy deficiency. And this energy deficiency manifests in skeletal, cardiac, muscle, and nerve. So you can see this because of this alcohol abuse, it will cause Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, known as wet brain. So this Wernicke-Korsakoff is related more to brain, and this is also called Wernicke-Korsakoff encephalopathy. So alcohol, you know, alcohol causes brain damage, and because of vitamin B1, if there is a chronic alcohol use, it will cause problem to brain, and this will cause this problem. 3, cat's eye. You can remember this Wernicke-Korsakoff through cat's eye. C for confusion. One is confusion, confabulation. So memory, this is related to memory problem. So abnormal type of memory will be there. So difficult to remember, and sometimes distorted memory can. The patient will in the past perceive something, memorize something, and that is distorted. Okay. So this distorted type of memory is confusion. And then ataxia. When move, there is lack of coordination of movement. And then ophthalmoplegia. There is lack of paralysis of eye muscle. This is called ophthalmoplegia. You have seen hemiplegia. Hemiplegia means half paralysis. The same here, the terminology ophthalmoplegia, eye muscle paralysis. So these three are very important. Cat's eye. So confusion, ataxia, and ophthalmoplegia. And this nystagmus is because of that eye will move like this. So nystagmus, these are the triad. Cat's eye is the classical triad of this Wernicke-Korsakoff disease. Confabulation, psychosis, permanent memory loss, and memory body hemorrhage are the presentation of this Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. Do you know what is Wernicke center? What is the significance of this Wernicke center? So Wernicke center is the center that is for sensory memory. This is a center for sensory memory. So sensory memory is lost because of this confusion, confabulation, and that is why you call it called Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. Now beriberi, you can see two features you will see in beriberi. One is peripheral neuropathy, second is muscle wasting, symmetrical muscle wasting and symmetrical peripheral neuropathy. This is a particular about this dry beriberi, and this dry beriberi, if it is not treated, it will progress into wet beriberi, where fluid accumulation will happen. So in this wet beriberi, there will be peripheral neuropathy, symmetrical atrophy, muscle atrophy. Neuropathy and muscle, nerve muscle both are involved. Then at the same time there will be involvement of cardio, heart tissue. So dilated cardiomyopathy will also be there. So this leads to death. Wet beriberi will leads to death ultimately. So this is the presentation of beriberi. That is, beriberi means I can't. Deficiency will cause muscle weakening. So patient will have very difficulty standing, and then patient will have peripheral neuropathy as well. You can see this. So neurological finding will have like sensory and motor reflex function will be defective. So let's see this myelin deficiency. So let's see this. So thiamine, you will see this thiamine deficiency. What happens is loss of reflexes is there in knee and because of neuropathy and myopathy, and then thinning. So loss of muscle emaciation, thinning will be there, and then this is dry beriberi. So you can see aphonia, very difficult speaking. So patient will be like very old type. So in young also, because of very patient will look like old patient, old age. So aging like a problem will be seen. The food drop is there. So these all problems, wrist drop, food drop, this all problem because of lack of energy, and that leads to myopathy and neuropathy. This will progress to this wet beriberi, where you can see dilated cardiomyopathy, and here you can see in alcoholic patient you will see Wernicke syndrome, confusion, coma and death, confusion, and then ataxia, and then ophthalmoplegia and death. These are the presentation you will see in thiamine deficiency. So you can see a real patient with wet beriberi here. So diagnosis can be made by measuring transketolase activity. So transketolase, if measured, so it will give you about if the activity is low, then it shows that V1 is deficient. So you can see this. I have already explained about this transketolase. Or thiamine deficiency from history also. You can make diagnosis from history. How do you manage this patient? Don't give glucose before thiamine. So first give thiamine, then only glucose. If you go give glucose first, then it will complicate because thiamine is deficient, and then more thiamine deficiency will happen, and then it will complicate the problem. So give first thiamine, then glucose. This is the very important concept. You can see after thiamine has been administered, then administer glucose in IV fluid. This is a very important concept. So don't forget this. This is how you can treat the thiamine deficiency. And prevention is, in these days, food fortification is done. Food is added with thiamine. So riboflavin. So what is riboflavin? FAD and FMN. Riboflavin. So FAD and FMN are present in, this is helpful in oxidation reduction reaction. You can see these reactions these are the reactions where FAD and FMN come. In fatty acid oxidation, in Krebs cycle succinate dehydrogenase, and you can see this pyruvate dehydrogenase also has PDH enzymes, also has vitamin B2 also. So and electron transport chain also has this vitamin B2. But this vitamin B2 is very tightly bound. Generally, this FAD and FMN are tightly bound to enzyme, to protein. So that is why deficiency is very rare. And deficiency also, if deficiency happens, it happens. It does not happen quickly. It takes time for deficiency to happen. And the presentation is oral presentation and skin presentation, dermatological presentation, oral presentation you can see. So this 3C and D you can remember. You can see cheilosis. You can see cheilosis is inflammation of lip and scaling of this fissure. This is cheilosis. And then colored tongue. Tongue will be colored. Cheilosis. And then this corneal vascularization. You can see corneal vascularization here. So C, cheilosis, corneal vascularization, and colored tongue. So this 3C and then dermatitis. This 3C and D are the classical feature of this deficiency of riboflavin. Now niacin deficiency. Niacin is present as NAD and NADP. So NADP, whatever you studied in pentose phosphate pathway, so the deficiency, the function of NADP is function of this niacin also. Function of NADP is function of niacin also. So if there is deficiency in this niacin, that will cause deficiency of lipid synthesis. You know, lipid synthesis, because NADH is required for lipid synthesis. Even it influences DNA synthesis. So many problems, all anabolic as well as catabolic pathway are influenced, and because of this what will happen because of deficiency of niacin? What does happen? So niacin deficiency will cause which problem? Tell me. Niacin deficiency is very important. I will tell you vitamin B3 and 3 plus 3. 3 to the 6. 6 and 3 3 is 9 and 3 4 is 12. So this 4 vitamin deficiency is very important, plus vitamin B7. So this 4 plus vitamin B7, because vitamin C, B7 in propionic acid pathway is associated with vitamin B12. That is why this all vitamin deficiency becomes very important. B3, B6, B9, B12. 3 2 is 6, 3 3 is 9, 3 4 is 12. So you can remember this way. And then so tell me, vitamin B3 deficiency causes which problem? It causes pellagra. Now vitamin B3 will cause pellagra. And what is pellagra? Pellagra is disease of 3D. So what happens in vitamin B2? So vitamin B3 is only vitamin that is synthesized from tryptophan. Do you know this? Niacin. Please try to speak.
Yes, sir.
Okay, vitamin B6. It requires vitamin B6. Tryptophan is converted into niacin. It requires vitamin B6. Now, let's see this. So, if there is tryptophan deficiency, what will happen?
No vitamin B3 is formed.
Okay, so this is one cause. This is one cause. Because of tryptophan deficiency, there will be niacin deficiency. Second cause, tryptophan overconsumption. Overconsumption. So it will also cause niacin deficiency. Third is vitamin B6 deficiency, can also cause niacin deficiency. So this 3 causes of niacin deficiency is very important. So first cause is deficiency of tryptophan. So tryptophan deficiency can cause niacin deficiency. So this disease is, can you give one example where tryptophan deficiency is a problem, where tryptophan malabsorption is there? What is the disease of tryptophan malabsorption? I have already taught you. Heart nerve disease. Don't you remember? Heart nerve disease. So heart nerve disease is associated with tryptophan deficiency and niacin deficiency. So niacin deficiency, so therefore there is 3D is there in heart nerve disease. Diarrhea, dermatitis and dementia. Plus what is there? This is pellagra-like presentation, plus there will be neurological presentation, ataxia. So heart nerve disease is pellagra plus ataxia. So you will see here, overconsumption you will see in carcinoid syndrome. Carcinoid syndrome. Carcinoid syndrome, what happens is from tryptophan. Tryptophan, what is formed? Serotonin is synthesized in carcinoid syndrome. serotonin is formed. And now in such condition, what will happen in carcinoid syndrome? The problem happens with presentation, happens as asthma-like presentation. Asthma-like presentation here. Asthma-like presentation. And then flushing of face because of serotonin. Flushing of face. And this presentation will be associated with pellagra, with 3D. So 3D plus this, if there is present, this is carcinoid syndrome. Now this vitamin B6 deficiency is associated with pellagra plus neuropathy and anemia. You know, vitamin B6 is also required for hemoglobin synthesis. We will talk about that. So this 3 deficiency will lead to pellagra. So remember, these are the very important concept. So this 3 deficiency leads to pellagra. Now you see heart nerve disease, I told you, because of tryptophan absorption, it can cause deficiency. Malignant carcinoid syndrome, again, because of increased tryptophan metabolism to serotonin. And then vitamin B6 deficiency, because of isoniazide, it will also cause this, and low diet. So these are the main reason for niacin deficiency. Niacin deficiency results in diarrhea, dermatitis, especially in the region of snake, C3, C4. This is called castle neck dermatitis, and dermatitis especially in sun exposed areas, limbs. So this type of dermatitis will happen. Then hallucination will, you can say hyperpigmentation of sun exposed area, and hallucination, dementia with hallucination. So how do you treat? High protein diet and nicotinic acid is given to treat this such condition. So this B3 is associated with D3, 3D disease. You can remember this also. And it has also 3 main important causes. 3 causes are there, important causes are there of this problem. So excess vitamin B3 is also used as drug for hyperlipidemia. You can see this type 2, type 4 and type 5. Hyperlipidemia is given with nicotinic acid. So symptoms, if there is very high amount of nicotinic acid, it can cause side effect: facial flushing, intrahepatic cholestasis, hyperglycemia and hyperuricemia. So you can see this pantothenic acid. You know, pantothenic acid is coenzyme A. So coenzyme A, what is the function of coenzyme A? So coenzyme A is involved in both fatty acid synthesis, you know, from acetyl coenzyme A, and then fatty acid oxidation will also require acetyl coenzyme, coenzyme. So this fatty acid will convert into acetyl coenzyme here. So in both fatty acid synthesis and fatty acid oxidation, also for glucose oxidation require acetyl coenzyme. So acetyl coenzyme is very important for this energy release. And see, if there is if there is deficiency in coenzyme, what will happen then? If coenzyme is deficient, low, so what will happen? So will there be beta oxidation, proper beta oxidation? Will there be proper beta oxidation?
No.
And will there be like synthesis of fatty acid?
No.
So fatty acid synthesis will be affected, and beta oxidation will also be affected. And see, there is this coenzyme, this B5 is rarely deficient, but it is deficient in vitamin B5 is deficient is deprived patient. Deprived when some individual has not got food for a long time, good food for a long time, full stomach food. So if patient is deprived, then what will happen? Fatty acid oxidation will consume this acetyl coenzyme. Fatty acid oxidation, because when somebody does not get food, fatty acid oxidation happens, and that fatty acid oxidation will consume B5, and because of this consumption of B5, there will be B5 deficiency, and this B5 deficiency will lead to fatty acid deficiency. And this fatty acid, fatty acid deficiency, also cholesterol deficiency, because cholesterol also require vitamin B5, acetyl coenzyme for synthesis. No cholesterol, no fatty acid. If cholesterol is not there, do you think adrenal cortex will work? Do you think adrenal cortex will work? So what will happen? Adrenal insufficiency. Adrenal insufficiency will happen, and because of fatty acid synthesis defect, there can be baldness or alopecia. Okay, these are the presentation you can see because of lack of this acetyl coenzyme A, vitamin B5. You can see here vitamin B5 causes what? Alopecia and adrenal insufficiency. Along with that, there is dermatitis, because skin rejuvenation also require fat, because membrane is composed of fat. So fatty acid synthesis, if it is not there, dermatitis and enteritis, intestinal problem. So enteritis and dermatitis will be there because of pantothenic acid deficiency. Enteritis, dermatitis, alopecia, and adrenal insufficiency. These are the problem. Now pyridoxine deficiency, I told you pyridoxine is present in which compound? Pyridoxine. What is the function of pyridoxine? B6. What is the function of B6? So I'll give you one mnemonics.
Amino acid catabolism.
Yes, very good, very good, very good. Amino acid catabolism. Which enzyme has vitamin B6? Transaminase has vitamin B6. So he is very good man. You can use this mnemonics. So what is he for? Heme. Heme is heme synthesis, and V for vitamin synthesis. You know which vitamin? Vitamin B3. And then G for glycogen synthesis, glycogen breakdown, glycogen phosphorylase. And for A for amino acid catabolism. M for myelin synthesis. Did you forget this? Myelin. N for neurotransmitter synthesis. So did you remember? Can you remember this all? And so what will happen? If vitamin B6 is deficient, then there will be heme synthesis will be a problem. This will cause anemia, sideroblastic anemia. Anemia. And V, vitamin synthesis, if this is defective, it will cause which problem? I have taught just now. Tell me, please. If there is deficiency of vitamin B6, this vitamin, which vitamin deficiency will be there?
B3.
Okay, B3, yes, B3 deficiency. And B3 deficiency will lead to which problem?
Pellagra.
Okay, great, pellagra. So sideroblastic anemia, you can see sideroblastic anemia, you can see pellagra, because of glycogen phosphorylase is not there. And so glycogen breakdown, if does not happen, what will happen? Because of this hypoglycemia. But you can see there is gluconeogenesis to compensate this. But again, gluconeogenesis also depends on this pyridoxine. So gluconeogenesis will also be affected because amino transaminase will be affected. So amino acid catabolism is also affected. So hypoglycemia. Now myelin, because of myelin deficiency, peripheral neuropathy. And then neurotransmitter is not there, then CNS problem. So you can see nervous system, both peripheral nervous system, central, but initially peripheral nervous system is affected. Then pellagra will be, this patient will presented with pellagra plus peripheral neuropathy. Then later there will be anemia, and then hypoglycemia-like of presentation will be there. So nervous system, liver, metabolism, then pellagra and anemia. So you can really see this 6 function. You can see 6 function, 3 function, then plus 3 function, 6 function. Vitamin 6, B6 has this 6 function. So you can remember this. He is, so you can take this. He is very good man. So you can take this mnemonics to understand function of vitamin B6. So you can see this. So what will happen? This convulsion, hyperirritability, peripheral neuropathy. These are related to central nervous system plus peripheral nervous system. Sideroblastic anemia is related to hem defect. Cheilosis, stomatitis. This is because of niacin deficiency. And then pellagra-like presentation. So, and then pellagra, so because of niacin deficiency, pellagra-like presentation. So these are all related to vitamin B6 deficiency. And vitamin B6 deficiency, this is the most important cause of vitamin B6 deficiency. What is isoniazid? It is an anti-tubercular drug. Anti-tubercular drug. So in tuberculosis, this is given. So this will cause deficiency of vitamin B6. So that is why in tuberculosis, if this vitamin B6 is also supplemented. So these are the presentation. Now this is the sideroblastic anemia. You can see the rings, sideroblastic rings are there. So iron laden cell will be there, RBC will be there. This is called sideroblastic anemia. Here you can see this RBC, iron laden RBC in the blood smear. Now vitamin B7, you know, vitamin B7 is what? Vitamin B7 is?
Biotin.
Yes, vitamin B7 is biotin. Biotin is present where? For what function biotin? What is the function of biotin? Carboxylation. Isn't this the function? Carboxylation. So do you remember any carboxylase enzyme? Tell me quick.
Propionyl-CoA carboxylase.
Pyruvate carboxylase.
Propionyl coenzyme A carboxylase. Good. So propionyl coenzyme carboxylase is part of propionic acid pathway, and propionic acid pathway produce succinate, and succinate will form glucose. So glucose synthesis, it is involved in gluconeogenesis here. And then second other enzyme,
Acetyl-CoA carboxylase.
okay, acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase. So this acetyl coenzyme A carboxylase is required for
Fatty acid synthesis.
so fatty acid synthesis. Okay. Now, what is other function? Other enzyme?
Pyruvate carboxylase.
Pyruvate carboxylase. Pyruvate carboxylase. And you know this pyruvate carboxylase convert pyruvate into oxaloacetate. This reaction I am teaching you from very beginning. Pyruvate carboxylase. And this oxaloacetate will also convert into glucose. This is also an enzyme of gluconeogenesis. And also it also supplies oxaloacetate during fed condition. And it is also an enzyme of gluconeogenesis. So you can see which two pathways are affected because of deficiency of biotin.
And glycolysis.
Gluconeogenesis. One is gluconeogenesis is affected because of biotin deficiency. Second is fatty acid synthesis is affected. Did you get that? Fatty acid synthesis is affected and gluconeogenesis is affected. So if there is biotin deficiency, what will happen? No fatty acid and
No
no
glucose.
glucose. During fasting condition, no glucose. So what will happen? Hypoglycemia, hypoglycemia. And then because of this, if there is no fatty acid, no cell synthesis, no cell division will be affected. Did you get this?
Yes, sir.
So cell division, because cell also require not only DNA, it also require membrane, lipid. So lipid has to be there. So if fatty acid synthesis is affected, there will be a problem in cell division and hypoglycemia. Now you can associate this problem. Generally, biotin deficiency, vitamin, and then pantothenic acid deficiency, these are very rare. But question is asked. If you understand this concept, you can understand. Now you can see. So hypoglycemia and lactic acidosis will happen there. So lactic acid will not be able to convert into glucose. So that is why you will see low glucose level, and then you can see this dermatitis, alopecia, and enteritis, because these are the skin, stratum basal of skin are constantly dividing. This hair follicle is also constantly dividing. Your intestinal basal epithelium is constantly dividing. And for the division, it requires fatty acid. And for fatty acid, it requires biotin. If biotin is not there, so this cell division will be affected. That is why dermatitis, alopecia, and enteritis. Dermatitis, alopecia. So this skin, and then intestine, then hair follicle, these are affected. So dermatitis, alopecia, and enteritis will be there. And along with that, there will be hypoglycemia, brittle nail, and then peeling and damage of cuticle, nail cuticle. So these are the brittle nail cuticle problem, this peeling of nail cuticle, and then alopecia. These are problem of biotin deficiency. But biotin deficiency happens because of very commonly we know that is why it does not happen that commonly, but it happens because of consumption of raw egg. Raw egg contain avidin. Avidin will bind this biotin, and this can cause deficiency. Other causes are antibiotic use can cause biotin deficiency because of this malabsorption. So most important thing is avidin use, raw egg. So this is propionic acid pathway. I don't think I have to talk about this pathway. You already know this pathway. If there is this enzyme deficiency in biotin deficiency, what will happen? You will see, because of biotin deficiency, there will be high propionic acid. So that is what I have to see. High propionic acid in blood. So this is one of the laboratory tests in biotin deficiency or deficiency of this enzyme. High propionic acid. And second organic acid increased in propionic aciduria is hydroxy isovaleric acid. So this is called HIV in short, you can remember, not human immunodeficiency. Hydroxy isovaleric acid will be high. And this hydroxy isovaleric acid this comes from leucine, amino acid catabolism leucine. So biotin is also responsible for amino acid catabolism. So these two things will be high. Propionic acid and hydroxy isovaleric acid will be high in biotin deficiency. Remember. So propionic acid and HIV are high in biotin deficiency. Now let's talk about vitamin B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12 deficiency. So part of vitamin B12, so this mechanism, do you know this metabolism? One is vitamin B12 related metabolism, this one is this. Only two reactions are there in our body for vitamin B12. Do you know this? Only two reactions are there in our body. I have already done this vitamin B12 in detail. You can go and see that video. in absorption and metabolism of vitamin. In absorption of vitamin, I have done in detail this vitamin B12.
Remember that right now.
Enzyme, name them. Both starts from M.
Methyl malonic.
Methyl
Malonic.
malonyl coenzyme A.
Yeah.
What? Mutase.
Okay.
MMM. And what is the second enzyme?
Methionine synthase.
Good. Methionine synthase. So, what is this MMM? Methyl malonyl coenzyme A mutase. This is part of which pathway?
Methyl malonic.
Yes. Which this is part of which pathway? This enzyme is part of which pathway?
Malonic coenzyme A mutase.
What does it do? Can you see?
Converts methyl malonic coenzyme to succinyl coenzyme.
Then, so if vitamin B12 is not there, what will happen? Concentration of what will increase?
Malonyl coenzyme.
So methyl malonyl coenzyme will form what? Methyl malonic acid. So methyl malonic acid, methyl malonyl coenzyme A is converted into succinyl coenzyme. And this is one enzyme. And this second enzyme for vitamin B12 containing enzyme, you can see. This enzyme converts propionyl coenzyme A into succinyl coenzyme, help converting propionyl into succinyl coenzyme. Now, see this second enzyme, methionine synthase. This methionine synthase convert homocysteine into methionine. So homocysteine, what does it work? Homocysteine is different from methionine in one methyl group. This is homocysteine. You can see this is amino acid homocysteine. 4 carbon is there in homocysteine. Amino acid. And here sulfur SH is there. This is homocysteine. And then on this homocysteine, one methyl group is added. 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 4 carbon. On this homocysteine, and remember this also, if you forget, it's not done. 1 methyl is added here. So this becomes, and methyl comes from here. This becomes methionine. So this is a very easy enzyme. And I don't know why students don't remember this also. And this is very, very, very important. Both in reaction, vitamin B12 access is very important. Now you can see this methyl group is being transferred by this methyl group of this methyl tetrahydrofolate is being transferred to homocysteine. This to homocysteine. And this is how, what happens when this methyl group is released, this tetrahydrofolate becomes free. This becomes free. And then homocysteine will convert into methionine. So this reaction also free this tetrahydrofolate. And if this is deficient, what will happen? Tell me, be quick, because time is finished. So what will happen if this is not there? Vitamin B12 is not there. What will happen? This reaction will not progress. Then what will happen? Homocysteine will become high, and then this also become high. And if methyl tetrahydrofolate is high, this is called what? Folate trap. This is called folate trap, because this methyl tetrahydrofolate will not be utilized by body. It is utilized only by this reaction. So this is called folate trap. Though folate is there, it is trapped. So this is called folate trap. So I have explained folate trap also many times. In folate trap is the reason for megaloblastic anemia. in vitamin B12 deficiency. This will cause megaloblastic anemia. Now, this homocystinuria is associated with several disorders, cardiovascular disorder, CVS disorder. So you can see vitamin B12 is associated with homocysteine cardiovascular system disorder, and this folate trap is associated with megaloblastic anemia. And there, from one reaction, you can see vitamin B12 is also associated with what? Methylmalonic acid. So remember, vitamin B12 means methylmalonic acid. Wherever methylmalonic acid you see being high in the test, just tick on vitamin B12 deficiency. So these three features are related to vitamin B12. Now you can see this. This homocysteine can also convert into cystathionine. This is the catabolism pathway. So this is rejuvenous conversion of recycling of homocysteine into methionine. Again, this methionine will convert into homocysteine. This is called recycling. But there is also catabolic pathway. This is catabolic. Homocysteine will convert into cystathionine, and cystathionine will convert into cysteine. This is catabolism of homocysteine as well as synthesis of cysteine. You can see through this pathway and require vitamin B6. And this, the most common deficiency that causes this homocystinuria is this deficiency. Vitamin B6 associated enzyme deficiency. Now you can see this methionine will convert into acetylmethionine, and this acetylmethionine will release methyl group and synthesize creatinine, catecholamines, and this again will convert into S-adenosyl homocysteine, and from this S-adenosyl homocysteine is synthesized. So this is a renewal cycle. So recycling happens, and then utilization of S-adenosyl methionine for this synthesis, and then again it will come. This is called activated methionine cycle. These are very, very important pathway cycle. And you can see because of homocystinuria what happens. So these are very, very important. If you don't focus on this, I cannot help you. So you can see pernicious anemia. I've already taught you these are the causes of vitamin B12 deficiency. You can go and study yourself. So this is all about ceiling test. I've already taught you. So you already know folate deficiency. I told you these are the features. Utilization of folate. You have to understand the deficiency and folate. Just go and read yourself. So phenytoin, sulfonamide, these drugs, cream, and then folate deficiency causes what? Spina bifida, neural tube defect. If folate deficiency is there in fetus. So with this, I will end vitamin deficiency.